Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. Y'all, let me just tell you up front, your girl is tired. Yes, I'm starting off the video because I've been working for the last 5 hours. And y'all, I got a crew out here that have been helping me work. We did end up having our planting party. Y'all know I said that I thought I wasn't going to have one, but God worked it out. So I'm going to take you outside and show you what all we've done. We were busy working, so I did not have the camera on, but I will walk you through and show you what all we did. So let's go. But first, let me show y'all. Do y'all see that you can actually see the bottom of some of my table? Y'all know that this part was covered. And it still looks like I have a lot left, but I really don't, y'all. Like, you can see all the open space. There, and there. So let me take you outside.
Oh yeah.
So you want this fence closed, right?
Yeah. Okay, y'all, I inserted just a little bit of footage. You can see my friends that were working. So when I recorded that, we were pretty much wrapping up for the day. Like I tell y'all, we have been working. So I did not have a chance to try to come on the camera and actually talk through it as we were doing it. But y'all, when I say I am so grateful and so excited, I am. Y'all heard me like a week or so ago and I just felt overwhelmed. I'm like, how is this going to get done? And because I knew that I was going to be going out of town and had a lot of travel this month, I'm like, Lord, it has to be done before I go out of town. Like, please, Lord, we need a miracle. And I really didn't know how that would happen because, like I told you, we had the planning party. It was originally supposed to be for May the 7th. My friend hurt her knee, so she wasn't able to really do anything. Now, she was still here. Hopefully you saw in the video. She came out for moral support and she wrote labels for me. She was able to stand up and rake. She just couldn't do a lot of bending. And then I had another friend here that was here last time. She helped me dig the holes and plant. And even when she got tired, she had a stadium chair and she just scooted along the rows and was digging holes, and I would plant. And then sometimes I would dig holes and then she would come behind and plant. And then sometimes she would just top dress with compost. Like, it just all worked out beautifully. And then we had another guy here, the same crew that I actually had last year, came out again, and I'm so thankful. He helped my husband roll out the rest of the paper, and y'all, we installed drip tape. So what I didn't show you last week, my husband had started the drip tape last week. Remember, that was one of my goals. If you've been following me, remember I did a goals video earlier this year and talked about what my goals were for this summer. And one of my goals this summer was to have drip tape installed. And so, y'all, I am happy to say we have drip tape in the whole inside garden on every row. It is done. So what we have to do now is to install drip tape in the tunnel and in the raised bed. So that will be forthcoming. So I did not get video of my husband like showing what he's doing and explaining it, but I will try my best when we do drip tape in the tunnel to show you. My husband said it is super easy. I was so intimidated. I'm like, man, but I saw videos where it couldn't have been that difficult. Where people were doing it, but that's not how my brain works. Like, I'm not the kind of like figure stuff out like that. That's not my brain. You want me to plan the garden, you want me to map it out, you want me to, be organized and all that, but the technical, I don't know if you call that technical, but that kind of mechanical, working with your hands, not my forte. Y'all, well, y'all know, if you don't know, I do HR, so I'm all about people's strengths. And y'all, my strengths, I work in my lane. Everything else, I just offload, delegate, pay, get somebody else to do it who is their strength. And that's how you get efficiency. But anyway, drip tape is down. And in terms of the garden being planted, it is, I would say, 90%, probably 95% planted. There are probably, I think I have maybe 15 to 20 plants left to actually put in the ground. And that's because I have plants left over. And this is a row that was not on my crop plan. I added an additional row on my crop plan. So I will do a full garden tour at some point, but I just wanted to come in and just show you, we did have our planting day. I'll turn the camera around and just show you some of the things that we got done. And y'all, pretty much all of the fabric for the planting is down. We still have some stuff on the perimeters that's open, that needs to be, like where the garlic was, we don't have paper down there yet. And then on the opposite end behind me, we don't have paper there yet. So we will put paper down, or either we will mulch it with mulch with the wood chips that we already have. Y'all let me know, have any of you guys used wood chip to mulch? Like, I use it in my raised beds, and it does, but I don't have weeds in my raised bed even when I wasn't using the wood chip. So I can't say that it's suppressing the weeds, because I didn't have weeds before. But you guys let me know, have you used wood chips as mulch in your outside in-ground garden, and has it worked well? Let me know in the comments. But let me turn the camera around and just show you some of the things, and then I'll do a full tour later on. As I back up, you can kind of see the whole space. So to the left, where you see the open area where there's dirt, we're not going to plant anything over there. That'll just be blank space, because y'all, I'm done with I'm done with planting. And so when it's all said and done, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. I had 7 last year. I have 8 this time, but these rows have way more plants in them. I have like 60 plants almost per row, for the most part, which is much different than what I had last year. So I'm not planting anymore. Like, this is it for this season. So what we'll do with this area, and you can kind of see straight ahead where I'm standing, is just black paper. This is an aisle where we use plain black paper without holes, because I'm not planting in this space. And the reason is because to the left over here, this row right here is the watermelon and cantaloupe row. And so to the right and to the left of the watermelon and cantaloupe row, there will be nothing planted, because I want to give them plenty of room to roam and to grow. Remember, that's the whole reason why I expanded the garden, was because I wanted space for my watermelon and cantaloupe to have space, because it was kind of too crowded to get everything in. And ideally, I could have put squash on this row. And as I'm thinking about it, that would have been a good use for this as well. I have my squash in another row, and it may be too crowded. We'll see. We'll see. I can always do some different squash, because I don't have this whole row planted of watermelon and cantaloupe. So I can even still do some squash down here if I wanted to. But I'll go through all that when I actually go through what I have planted and what I have planted where. But you can see we have that space here where I'm standing right in front of me is just a blank space. We covered it so that weeds wouldn't grow, but there's no holes, as you can see. And then as we get over here, you can see all of the different rows planted. You can see that there. You can see the drip tape that we have. Let me just zoom in on that. There's the drip tape. You can see we have it on every single row. So y'all, I'm feeling mighty accomplished. Again, I'm so grateful to my friends that came to help. My friends that came to help, they don't have gardens. They really did it because they love me and out of the kindness of their heart. And I'm very, very grateful. And they want to, again, make it an annual thing, which they were here last year. They were here this year. And even my friend that couldn't bend and do any work, she still was a great moral support. And we just had a good time. Like, even though it was hard work, we were blessed with good weather. Like, the high yesterday was like 77. So we were blessed with good weather. There was breezes going on all day, which was fantastic. So it wasn't that burning heat. And then also, y'all, we just had a good time. Like, even though we were doing hard work, we laughed, we cut up. And then after it was all said and done, I brought them up to the house. We all ate dinner in the sunroom and just fellowshiped and had a great time. And so I just want to encourage you that Sometimes as a gardener, it can feel lonely if your friends don't garden. And that's why we have communities like this on YouTube and on Instagram and homesteading communities. And that's all great, because I know when you guys tune in, you want to be here. You love gardening as much as I do, and you want to learn. And so we have this kindred spirit, even though we're not face to face. But when we're away from the camera, and when we are with our friends and our family who may not believe the way that we believe, they may not think that food sustainability is important. They may not have ever put their hands in dirt and have no interest in putting their hands in dirt. You can still share your garden experience with your friends, right? And so I encourage you, if you have a friend that may be willing to come, invite them over to your place. And your space may not be as big as mine, so it may not take you like a 2-day event, but invite them over to your space and say, hey, do you want to come and help me plant some flowers, or, for an hour or something like that, and let's have lunch. Invite them to your space. The friends that came, they live in the city, they don't live in the country, and they just said, man, it's so peaceful out here. It's just so peaceful. And it is peaceful, right? And so as we garden, and again, we have like-mindedness here on the community, don't miss the opportunity to invite your friends and your family to partake in the pieces that they can partake in and the things that they want to do, right? If they have an interest or they're willing to help you, let them help, right? I had to go behind my friend because she had the compost like up over high on the thing. I'm like, no, let's tamp that down. That's too much compost, but that's okay, right? It's no different than when your kids help you when they're little. They're like, mommy, let me help. And they help you and you're like, they're going to slow me down. Or, okay, you left something on, you didn't quite wash the dishes right. What do? You just go behind them, you fix it, and then they feel confident, they feel good, and they eventually get it right. It's the same exact thing. So y'all, I'm overjoyed. I am so thankful. I keep saying that because I am. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful that the Lord provided a way for me to get it done. And the hardest part for me in my mind is over, because to me, this is the hardest part, is getting it in the ground. I have a little bit more to do to get in the ground, but not compared to this. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, literally 7 rows pretty much planted. So I'm excited. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll do a garden tour on some later videos, but we had our planting day. It went well, and we are much, much closer to harvest. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't finished your garden, don't give up. Find a way to get it done. And I promise you, it will happen little bit by little bit. So thank you guys for joining me today. If you have questions, or if you have any suggestions around what I was asking you about the paper and the wood mulch, please put it down below. Remember, this is a journey. Let's grow together. See you next time, friend.